This generation is an evil generation. I'm not only referring to the younger generation of today, as they have often taken the brunt of the blame and scrutiny for the fall or state of our current society. I speak of the men and women in our current cycle. The children share some of the blame due to their free agency or free will at a certain age, but the physical only acts as a mirror of those particular attributes within the individual soul. It also acts as a vehicle to materialize those attributes of that particular soul onto this material plane. There is no attribute or trait that is fixed. All souls have a path to regeneration or salvation. These children, these souls that we, and I mean we because we collectively were given them so they could be brought up and raised in the laws of the Most High God. These laws were to be administered by the fathers. The men were instructed to teach them the law. You were once ignorant and became wise. The children don't have to be ignorant and rebellious as you once were. Psalm 7 and 8. And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation set not in their hearts aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with God. Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children. It is not coincidence that they have used various means to remove the father from the household, and they have convinced the women to do the same. The man is the administrator of the law, which his removal has created a lawless generation. You are to raise the children in righteousness and teach each soul you call your children the path, the ways, and the laws of the Most High God. Teach them the immutable laws of the universe, its mysteries, and its orders. I emphasize we must raise them because the children belong to us all. We were not to build family units of bloodline as we have today. The Father only instructed the children of men to be brought together as a people by law, his law, universal law. Sealed portion. And this desire to own that which is not yours has caused you to divide yourself throughout the land into families and communities. And when you have thus divided yourselves, you cause your thoughts to center on your families instead of on all people, who are your brothers and sisters. And this family unit shall cause you much headache and contention among you. For you have begun to believe that your families are more important than the rest of your brothers and sisters who are your neighbors. And because you believe this, you shall concentrate all your efforts on acquiring the things of the world to care for your family in flesh. And the children shall become selfish and centered in themselves because of the example of the things that you have shown unto them. And they shall begin to think that they have no brothers and sisters except those whom they share the same parents. And they shall begin to believe that their family unit is better than their neighbors. As usual, God gives man all he needs, which is the law, meant to keep him upright. But man always seems to seek out his or her own inventions. And now the once upright man or woman can no longer walk erect. He or she walks and bends, heavy with the burdens and the diseases of his or her own choices. Then at the point of failure, they scream from the highest mountain to anyone that is willing to listen, saying, "There is no God." Psalms 14 and 1. The fool hath said in his heart, "There is no God." They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. This generation gives you nothing. It takes everything, hoards everything for self. But the irony is, the same cancerous trait of keeping and holding on to things is the very trait that will kill you ever so slowly. You see, while this generation is holding on to material carnal things and living deliciously, they're simultaneously holding on to pain, self-inflicted pain, restricting self, limiting the soul in the same vein. Remember, everything has a root, and the root is you never release. You never let go. You're still holding on. You don't know how to forgive. The soul's progression doesn't move forward by material means like abundance or any other illusions of success you are conditioned to believe in the physical. This selfish generation gives nothing, releases nothing, and therefore creates no reward, except creating mirror images or moving parts of the society you created by deviating from law. All laws that bind man, plague man, was created by man and was given consent by man. In all things, whether you realize it or not, consent must be given by us, the people, based on the law of free will. Sealed portion. For if they use their free agency to choose the plan of Lucifer over the plan of the Father, then that is their choice. But if that is their choice, then they can receive no part of the blessing of the Father. You must be afforded the law of free agency or free will. You must give consent by some means. For example, throughout the pandemic, they forced many of you or made it seem like you had no choice, but you did, to take the shot. But they still asked for your signature, which carries your energy print, your odic force. Once you sign, you have given full consent no matter the conditions of your signing. Their work in the arts. You see, Lucifer never breaks the law. He makes you do it. Seal portion chapter 6. And Lucifer I had cast into this world to tempt Michael and Seraphia. But I will let you know that Lucifer knoweth the eternal laws of heaven, and he must abide by them. You have been holding on for whatever reason, but at this Passover or paradigm shift, along with the changing of your diet and the transmuting of your thoughts, man and woman has to learn to let go, release, and forgive, or the soul will be trapped in a state of limitation, restricted, then becomes a stop for unwanted spirits. Those who harbor hate, those who will never think to apply the hand of mercy to another soul, they have created an environment for unsavory spirits to thrive. You become a host, almost akin to the abusing of alcohol and leaving a portal for spirits to take over your vessel. Pistis Sophia. Note the great mystery of the forgiveness of sin. For when we share the Lord's word, we must teach that all must forgive. Even the thought forms sent down by the fallen Elohim, the fallen Nephilim, and the fallen brotherhoods, so that your psycho energies are not polluted and our bodies do not become cosmic way stations for spirits to enter. They will do their abominations, then they leave you with the effect of the destruction when they finally eject themselves from your body. Learn to let things go. Cease from dwelling. The more you dwell, your creative mind is actively creating this reality. Nothing can exist unless you give power to it. We have inharmony in our lives because we dwell on that condition too much. Nothing can exist unless that soul gives power to its continued existence. To dwell on negativity is to pull in harmony and all spirits that come with it towards you. And the divine spirit cannot manifest in chaos or disharmony. The path that lies within yourselves, that path is the creation of the absolute and the perfect harmony. One in whom hate, fear, and anger exist, the divine cannot manifest. Learn to detach from all things chaotic. Cease from making things personal, even when they are truly intended for you. Think that they're happening, just not happening to you. Be like a stranger to chaos and disharmony. Adopt an absolutely impersonal attitude towards it and separate from it. It will fade away and vanish. Be like a stranger. Learn to walk through life unafraid without allowing anything to become personal. The internal world cannot be touched because that is God's world. Make your mind still. Calm it and quiet it. You create the perfect mirror in which the divine light, the divine wisdom can reflect. And you accomplish this by ruling over your mind. Take rule over your knowledge and wisdom. Take control of your thoughts. 2 Ezra 14 and 34. If you will then rule over your minds and discipline your hearts, you shall be kept alive after death and shall obtain mercy. First and foremost, forgive yourself and make supplication unto the Most High God and vow never to do it again. Forgive others. You don't have to do it face to face. Meditate, pray, and mentally picture the person's face. Send a message of forgiveness or ask for forgiveness. Some people have not reached the point of release or mercy and will not face to face accept it. But this is another way the spirit will receive it. Release it. Never visit it again. It will attempt to return by thought. Just let it go by like a river and choose the next thought in the stream. Forgiveness will cause you nothing. Only the detaching of the personality and the progression towards the higher self. Holding on will only earn you a false sense of victory and pride. The illusion of the living while your spirit congregates in the shells among the dead. Show mercy.